What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Q&A, the series where I play some random gameplay from a video game I've played recently, and then talk about the questions that you guys have been asking me in the comments below, or responding to comments that I feel like I would like to respond to. So, if you like that idea, thank you. I appreciate it. It only took me 3 minutes to think of it, and we're already on the 4th episode, so yay! Next question! This first one comes from Matthew Lucas, who's all around YouTube. He's in everybody's comment section. He's one of my favorite people in the anime community. Give this guy some love down in the comments below. I mean, really, he's freaking awesome. And he asks, is watching anime weekly worth it? This is a good question. I think this is also a video Glass Reflections did a while ago, which I have seen. I'm not sure what the video stated, so I hope I'm not. I hope people in the comments don't say I'm copying his video when I talk about this topic. But is it worth watching weekly? That depends. It depends on the person. A good example I would like to use is my good bud Rising Sun Reviews. He also has a YouTube channel. In the comment, it's in the description below. Definitely go check it out. We're over there doing a weekly Promise Neverland podcast. His mindset is that for certain shows he'll watch weekly. You know, that's usually his favorite shows, like well, I can't even think of any right now, but usually, you know, his most favorite shows he'll usually watch weekly, and he'll watch things, other things, he'll just wait for them all to come out at one time, and that's usually because he has this criteria where some anime are just better to watch all at once. And I think for people that aren't in the community, I think watching it, you know, binge watching it as soon as it comes out is probably I don't want to say a better option, but it's probably a more viable option, because, you know, watching, you know, 5 anime a week, that can get pretty tiring. But, you know, if you pace yourself, it's actually quite easy to get through it. As for being a YouTuber, of course you have to watch it weekly. The YouTube algorithm absolutely just demands you release as much content as you possibly can, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing 5 videos a week for the next probably about 3 or 4 months, because, you know, after taking that month off from getting those YouTube strikes and my channel basically getting its rights, basically I couldn't, like, YouTube wouldn't let me upload any videos. After that happened, my channel has kind of died, so I have to, you know, tell the algorithm that I basically exist. And by the way, I don't edit these, so you're hearing a bunch of flubs and stuff like that. But that, so yeah. And for, like, my podcast, you know, the King of Anime podcast, where we cover 7 anime weekly every season, and we decide which ones we want to kill and pass, and which one at the end is the King of Anime, and have our own award show, which is this Saturday, by the way, on twitch.tv/SeaTactics. Or you can catch on the Bento Reviews YouTube channel in the comments below, or, gosh, dang it, in the description below. Yeah, for a YouTuber, it's pretty much required you watch it weekly if you want to actually get somewhere on this platform. It's just the way the cookie crumbles on here. It's literally for every community, every genre on YouTube. If you are in the gaming genre, you got to cover the new releases. It's if anything dealing with entertainment, anything dealing with anything that around a product or a medium, tech even, you have to cover the new stuff because YouTube demands you cover it. But as for a person who's just, you know, most of the people that are subscribed to my channel, most of the, you know, the hobbyist YouTubers, or most of the people who aren't in it for the long haul like I am, you know, it's up to you at that point. What do you want to do? Is it worth it one way or another? I think that's a question that you have to ask yourself, and I think it's a question that is very fluid, because I think there are definitely some shows that you would want to watch weekly. I think Dragon Ball Z fans would want to watch Dragon Ball Super weekly. I know I would. But that is just one person's thoughts. I really actually want to know your guys' I want to know your guys' opinions on this question, because this is just a really good question to have, and I appreciate you, Matthew Lucas, for commenting it down below. Next question! Alright, this comment is from a person, and it says, the cat's perspective is amazing, don't watch it if you don't like it. So this is from My Roommate is a Cat video, where in the video I had some qualms. I think I watched 4 episodes for this video. So this is very, very, very early first impressions, where I say, basically, I don't like the cat's perspective because it kind of slows down the show a little bit. It's a little gimmicky, and I've gotten tons of comments saying how people enjoy the cat's perspective. And if you don't know what I mean by that, at the end of the show, after the episode, the main storyline ends, you get to see basically a compilation of most of the main scenes in that episode, plus maybe some extras here and there, from the cat's point of view. The cat actually has a voice actress. You get to go into the mind of the cat. It's fairly interesting, actually, but it's a little gimmicky. Some people didn't like that I said that. The vast majority, they didn't care. Of course. It's always the minority that makes mountains out of molehills. So, my qualm with this comment isn't the fact that she disagrees with me on my opinion on the cat's perspective. It's what comes after that. It's what comes after her statement, the cat's perspective is amazing. Don't watch it if you don't like it. I hate this response. I hate this comment. I think it's lazy. I think it's being extremely close-minded. Don't watch it if you don't like it. In today's world of being on the internet, being connected to literally everyone and everything, you just get some really, really weird stuff. And this is an argument that is really birthed through the internet, birthed through us being connected, and pretty much, some other circumstances. But I really want to get down into this comment because it's dumb. It's a stupid comment to me. Don't watch it if you don't like it. Well, that's just, you're ignoring criticism because you like something. Now, I could, if I wanted to turn the tables, I could use that same comment against her. Well, if you don't like my opinion on this video, don't watch my video. But that gets nobody nowhere. That doesn't forward the goal. That doesn't do anything to help any of us. That literally, it's a stalemate at that point. You're not getting anywhere. You're not getting through. And of course, I responded to the comment basically saying the same thing. But don't make these comments. Don't watch it if you don't like it. That's just, you can't. You're not doing anything at that point. It's literally a non-comment. It's a non-statement. It makes no sense why anyone would try to argue something like that. Really, what she should have said is the cat's perspective is amazing. I disagree with you on it. Let's have a discussion about it. That's what I would have much preferred. And of course, she did not respond to my response to her. And I'm just going to read my statement on this, like what I responded to her with. I said, that is an entirely backwards and unreasonable response to something a person can have. Criticism is criticism. Don't watch it if you don't like it is not real discussion. The world ain't black and white. Life isn't dealt in extremes. And that last part is really like the point of my argument of why this is a bad statement to make. the world is not dealt in extremes. No matter which way you put it, there's a lot of middle ground. There's a lot of understanding the other person's perspective and having a discussion based around those, those tiny little minute arguments that you can have in someone's, argument. You don't just put another person's whole video down. You don't put my whole video down. You don't poo-poo the whole thing just because you don't like my opinion. That's one of the dumbest things. It's super fickle. It's super fickle, and that's my final statement on it. Next question. Oh, this is a good question. Who are you doing the Fruit Baskets podcast with? I'm doing the Fruit Baskets podcast with Rising Sun Reviews. That's the plan so far. It will be over on the Bento channel. If you haven't already subscribed to the Bento channel, it's my channel. I run the channel. It's got news. When I talked about the news of Slime Daddy getting a Season 2 and Origaru, a.k.a. Snafu, getting a Season 3. I talked about that. I talked about some of the new Netflix shows that'll be coming out. I even do a weekly podcast, a live weekly podcast on Kaguya-sama. And next season, I'll be doing a couple other shows, one of them being Fruit Baskets, which is a remake of an old anime that was based off a manga. It will be a full adaptation of the manga this time around. And yeah, I'll be doing it with Rising Sun Reviews, and I can't wait to do it. It's going to be pretty similar to the Promised Neverland podcast. If you are a fan of Rising Sun Reviews and you watch that, and if you don't watch the Promised Neverland podcast, it's a 40-minute podcast every week. We talk about Promised Neverland and generally have some fun as well. So, thanks for the question, and next question. All right, next question is, well, the next three questions, the last three questions actually, will be from my Bento channel, this is from my teenage romantic comedy Snafu Season 3 confirmation video where I talked about the great news. And the first comment is from my King of Anime podcast co-host, Everything Animated, and he says, to this news coming out in the Season 3 is official. I fell in love with this show back in 2013. I never ever thought that I'd ever get to see this show conclude. Whenever this gets a release date, I'm watching this show and crying hard tears. Feel will get this show, I betcha. And I want to focus on that last part, but the reoccurring thing in the next couple questions will be the emotional resonance of this show and how important it is to a lot of people. So what studio is going to get Feel? That's a really good question. Or what studio is going to get Feel? What did I just say? What studio is going to get Snafu? But I think Everything Animated is right about this. I definitely feel like Feel is going to be getting this show because I talked about this in the video itself on the Bento channel. Feel doesn't have any shows after which next season they're doing a 2-core visual novel adaptation of and it will be 26 episodes, in case you don't know what 2-core means. And after that, they got nothing, which makes me think they're going to get it. Now, the show could feasibly return to brain space, but they haven't done anything too interesting in recent memory as far as I am aware. And either way, I'm okay with either of them. But I think Feel is going to get it because I think Feel is a studio that, for better or for worse, I think fits the tone of the show. I like a lot of the character designs from Season 1. I like the way that the show in Season 1 really looks. But it's like comparing two really good-looking versions of each show. I'm not going to complain if either gets the show, to be honest. But I think Feel is the studio that probably will end up getting it because I think they just understand that show in terms of what the tone should be, what the visual tone, what the show should look like. Yeah. Good question. Moving on to the next question. Tears of Joy. I've been wanting this for 3 years. And the next question after that, so next question, I literally started screaming, "Yeah, hello!" like a crazy person when I saw this on Reddit. It's just really great to see that people have had this emotional response to Snafu, because we recently did a Nakama Club podcast, which is a spinoff of the King of Anime podcast, with all the people on King of Anime, on Everything Animated's channel, and we were talking about, well, the way we talked about it, we were very emotionally connected to the show, the characters. We loved the characters, and we desperately wanted to see an end to this show. And it's pretty awesome to see people like this. This doesn't feel like a pretty fake response when someone says, "I literally started screaming, yeah, hello," which they probably didn't. They're probably exaggerating, but it doesn't feel out of the realm of possibility. And the other person saying tears of joy, "I've been wanting this for 3 years." I mean, I cried when I saw the Dragon Ball Super opening, like the very first Dragon Ball Super opening in like 2015. I watched it like the day after it came out, so I can understand people crying over this anime getting a season 3, because it is such a really important slice of life anime to a lot of people, because the show is written very well, and the main character is very, very relatable, and not relatable in the sense of, how in isekai, all of the isekai main characters are losers. It's relatable in the sense that the character is human. The character is not a trope. He is the embodiment of everything of what it means to be a teenager growing up. It's Snafu is so brilliantly written, so masterfully crafted, that every character feels like a person. And that's why I think Snafu is loved to the point of where people cry when it gets announced. It's underrated in that sense. And I don't think Snafu is a totally underrated show. I think if it got a dub, a lot of people would realize this same sentiment that I just said. This same response that I just said, I think people would realize how great it is if it got a dub, but it's only sub, so its audience is very limited. But that's another, I'm getting off topic there, it's another kind of discussion. But I think it's underrated in that sense, because so many anime these days are slice of life, and they kind of do what Snafu does, but they don't do the attention to detail that Snafu does. The little things. The little things that make the main character more than just a loner teenager, the things that make Yui and what's her name? Yuki Noshida more than just a couple pretty faces. And the details that make Iroha more than just an anime girl with a cute voice, right? That's Snafu does those things. Snafu is a lot of those little attention to details. In many ways, it's like a combination of Bakemonogatari and its attention to script and details and writing, but not so complicated and not a harem, and just more about a story about a guy who is growing up. And it's hard to really put into words what Snafu does so well, because there's so many things it does so well, and so many of those things it would take an essay to really explain why it's so important to so many people. So, we've come to the end of our questions. This is the end of Q&A. I hope everyone has enjoyed this video. I highly suggest that you guys put some questions down in the comments below, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to get up real close to the mic, move my pop filter away from the microphone. I'm breathing really hard, okay, into the mic on purpose. You guys, I would really appreciate it if you put some questions down in the comments below. Preferably on if Bible Black Wicked is season 3. I'm just kidding. No, seriously though, yeah, definitely submit some questions. Because we get a lot of Matthew Lucas opened up with that great question. Great question. He opened up with that great question, and he's eating your guys' lunch, you guys. Got to submit some really good stuff. So I appreciate it if you are submitting a question. If you're not, that's totally fine. Yeah. Oh, I also forgot, before we end this video, usually in Q&A, I shout out a person, and I talked to this person, I got permission to show their channel and their blog, which we'll get into in a second. This is Visual Evaluations, and I'm actually friends with this person. This person joined my server, Discord server, around last year, and since he joined the server, I guess he decided to make YouTube a little over a year ago, and we did a couple things together. In fact, 2 of these videos, the Hyoka video and the Fate Stay Night Heavensville video, are both videos that I worked on him with. I made the thumbnail for the Hyoka video and the Heavensville video. He also did a Hyoka video later, a Hyoka analysis, which was really good, by the way. And my cat's sneezing off in the corner of my room for some reason. Abby's a great guy. Go check out Visual Evaluations YouTube channel. I mean, he's at 49 subscribers. We can get him to 100, right? I mean, he doesn't upload videos often. That's the thing. He's of the belief that he only uploads videos when he feels like he has something to say, which as a viewer can be quite annoying at times, but it's actually pretty cool because, one day you may get a random Visual Evaluations video, and he works extremely hard on these videos. Even the Anime Nomad podcast on Hyoka and the Heavensville video, I was talking to him during, when he was making these videos and getting the info together, and he's very focused, and he's a very good anime YouTuber who does some pretty interesting analysis. And by the way, the Heavensfield podcast has Kevin Ya on it, so if you're a fan of Kevin Ya, also go check out Kevin Ya. But he's fairly big in the anime community. I don't think he needs a shout out, from me, of all people, but definitely go check out Albie. Try to get him to 100 subscribers. And if you don't want to wait on stuff, he also has a new blog he just started. I haven't read this, so I don't know too much of what it's about, but it's pretty interesting. And I would definitely, if you're into reading blogs, maybe sign up for that, email notification squad if he has one of those. Does he have one of those? Well, you can leave a comment, that's for sure. So yeah, that's Visual Evaluations. That's Abby. Great guy, super nice guy. He takes anime and discussion super seriously. So if you like that kind of thing, Visual Evaluations is not only your guy, but he's your dude, man. Yeah. Back to the video. If you enjoyed this video, I appreciate it, and make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Click on some of these videos if they find you interesting. If you have $1 to spare, you can support me over on Patreon to get access to a whole bunch of stuff, including OV Awful and many other things. Bye-bye, love you, bang bang.